Hello guys, welcome back. In the previous video, we understood how to find the maximum and minimum element occurrences. In this video, let's try to understand how do we print even and odd elements in an array. So the question is pretty simple. So given the size of an array is 7 and there are 7 elements 2, 9, 3, 6, 1, 4, 17. So first we are printing the even elements, then followed by we are printing the odd elements. So already the scanning part is done, size followed by the array elements. So first size has been scanned, then declared the array, then followed by scanning the array elements. So now what we are supposed to do? So we'll be starting our I value from the iteration index 0. So once we start the value from 0, so what do we do? Every time we check the current element. How do we get the current element? So the current element in that respect to array is ARR of I. So if this respect to element is even or odd, we are supposed to check. So how do we know that the current respect to element is even? So normally any number if you want to check, so we just normally do modulus 2 double equals 0. So if it is a multiple of 2, so then we say that it is respectively an even number. If it is not a multiple of 2, of course it is said to be an odd number. So what are the even numbers if you observe over here? So we have the value 2, we have the value 6, and we have the value 4. So these three are the even numbers. What do we have? So the straightforward logic what comes to our mind is, so we go iterate. So I to 0, I less than size, I increased by 1. So we iterate from 0, we go until the last. And basically what do we do over here? We just check if the current value is even or odd. If it is even, so what basically we'll be trying to do? We just go printf percentile d. Maybe as there are multiple values, so let's give percentile d space, then ARR of I. So this is what the logic for even. So but what we'll try to do, we'll also go and add else. We'll printf percentile d and we'll say ARR of I. And let's give some space over here as well. All right. So now just try to understand what exactly went wrong. Now, it doesn't matter you are into this if or you are into this else. Why? Because you are of course printing at the end ARR of I, ARR of I. Means let's say, let's try to trace it out. So I value is 0. So this is 2 modulus 2. It is an even. So you print the value 2. This is cool. Next I is increased. So now you check, is 9 an even number? No. Then it goes to else and you print the value 9. But we don't want, right? But how do we want? We want first the value 2, then in the next line we want the value 9. But this is not possible. Why? Because first after you printing 264 only, then you can go to the value 93117. So what we'll be doing is, we'll be first writing single loop for only the even numbers. So once you are done writing the logic for even numbers, then the same you repeat for the logic of odd numbers. So that is what let's take. So let's go to the online compiler and let's see the logic over there. So let's take for int I equals to 0, I less than size, I increased by 1. All right. So let's go with the condition. If ARR of I modulus 2, if it is 0, then you say that that respective number is an even number. Percentile d space ARR of I. So first let's try to print the even. So let's go with the size 8. So what are the elements we have? 2, 9, 3, 6, 1, 4, 17. 1, 4, 17. Okay, the size is 8. Let's go for one more. Maybe let's take the value 9. Maybe instead 9, let's go for 7. All right. So if you observe, we got the even numbers 2, 6, and 4. So now what we'll be doing, we'll be writing the logic for odd. So just the same thing for int I to 0, go until the last, increase the I value by 1. All right. So when do you say it is odd? If A of I modulus 2, if it is 1, or instead checking with 1, you can also go for not equal to 0. That also works. Printf percentile d space A of I. I just want to separate this printing as well as this printing. So in between, I'll just go for adding a dummy new line. So let's run it. So giving the value 7. over here. Let's run. So now we got the value 264. Okay, percentile D is missed over here. Let's once again run. Alright, you got 264, 93, 117. So this is the logic for printing the even as well as odd numbers. That is all for this video. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.